In this video, I want to show you how to create a frequency table or a frequency table for a numerical variable, quantitative variable. And so we're going to use this example in the notes, which says the following data was gathered on the cost of electricity during July 2013 for a random sample of 50 one-bedroom apartments in a large city. And notice this variable is the cost, electrical cost, and that's going to produce a number. So this is a quantitative variable. And we're going to make an array first. And all an array is an ordered set of your data. You're going to order your data some kind of way. All right. And so to order this data, I've already taken and ordered it in Excel by copying and pasting it and then sorting it. And when I did that, I got these values here in an ordered data set. And I'm going to put them into this table based off of these groupings or these class we call bins, and they're class sizes. And to find the class size, generally speaking, it'll be given to you in your homework. If it's not given to you, we want to use nice values. So look, I'm going from 80 to 100. So generally anything that ends in a multiple of 10 will work. And you want it to span the range of your data set. So my range here, my smallest value to find the range, the smallest value is 82. And the largest value all the way down there is 213. So we're going to calculate that range value. Our range would be equal to, let Excel do this for me, equals this value minus this value. Our range is 131. And so depending on the number of classes I want, generally speaking, you want 5 to no less than 5 when you do data this big, and no more than 15. And a good rule of thumb is to actually we use a rule of thumb that says 2 raised to the power of how many classes you want has to span your data set. So in this case, there are 50 values. So 2 raised to what number is going to be either equal to 50 or bigger than 50. And that number, if you do start picking numbers, 2 to the third would be 8, 2 to the fourth is 16, 2 to the fifth is 32, 2 to the sixth is 64. So 6 classes will work here. And from there, you would take whatever your range is and divide it by that number. So we take 131 and divide it by 6, we get this number, 21.83. So that says that basically what we should do is round our number up to the nearest whole number that is a multiple of 10. So we're rounding this up, and up means you always go up from that number. You should actually use a class set of 30. 30 is going to be a little bit too big. So we actually just add an extra class. Instead of doing 6, we're going to divide by 7 and get 7 classes. So we'll get 131 divided by 7. That gives me 18, and it tells me I can go about 20, because remember, round up to nearest 10. So that'll be about 20, and that's why I've created these classes based off of that. You really want to worry about figuring out what your class sizes will have to be, what your class sizes will be, because on your homework and on tests that'll be given to you, it'll set up just like this. So all you have to do is fill in this part of the table. But I just want to speak on what's one possible way to do it. So again, you could have did 6 with a range of 30 between all of these. We're going to do 7 with a range of 20. Either way it goes, you just make sure whatever you do, it spans your data set. And that means whatever your smallest number is, it's included inside one of these classes. And whatever your largest number is, it's included inside these classes. So now to actually build this table, here's what we're going to do. One way to do this is to, like I've done it by color codes to see what fits inside of each one I can see. And here, when you look at the table, whatever your back number is, whatever this last number is, we call it the upper bound. So the upper bound here would be this 100 value. The upper bound here in the second class is 120. Third class is 140. Fourth class 160. Fifth class 180. Sixth class is 200. And the seventh and final class is 220. The upper bound is never included in that class. And what that means is you always include the lower bounds. So your lower bound would be the first number. So if a number in your data set is actually 80, it would fall in this class. However, if the number was 100, it would not fall in this class, which means that you're really stopping everything in each one of these classes one number shy of what you see for the upper bound. So for instance, this lower bound is 80, you would include it. 100 you don't include, so the upper bound of this class would actually be 99. Same thing here. Lower bound is 100, you include it. The upper bound is 120, you don't include it. So you're actually stopping all your numbers at 119. Lower bound, 120, include it. Here, the upper bound is 140, you don't include it. So you're actually stopping all your numbers at 139. We'll do that all the way through these data sets so we can actually, so if you see numbers that fall like that, remember, if it's on the upper bound, you put it in the next class. If it's on the lower bound, you include it in the next class. And so all we're doing is we're going through and I'm saying how many values on my data set fall between 80 and 100. So in this yellow area, we can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can go through and count each one of these if we want to, but there is actually a function that we can use in Excel that'll count things for us. It's called the count formula. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to count, and the count formula counts the number of cells. So I'm going to count those cells, and right there I have 4 cells that meet the criteria of falling in between 80 to 100. The next one, I'm going to count in that orange section. Inside of here, I have 7 values. And so the next section, which is the blue section, I'm going to count there again. And notice I've already color coded these again based on the criteria of, for instance, in this blue section from 120 to 140, which really means that the upper bound, we don't include it. So it means I'm stopping at 139. And notice here, that's 139 in my data set. So in the next section, I'll count those 2. 13 in that one. Next section, let's count those. This purple section here. There's 9 in there. Counting this next one. There are 5 in there. And then count in that last section. And there are 3 there. So these are the total counts in each one. And I know there's 50 data points, and I want to make sure that it's right. So my total, I'll sum all of these counts that I just created. And it should be equal to 50. And let's make sure and verify. And that is 50. So we have all of the values that we need. This is our frequency table now. And eventually we're going to make these other different types of graphs. In order to make those graphs, we're going to need a couple additional things. One of those things is what we call the midpoint. And all the midpoint is the midpoint is the middle of each class. And so if I'm at 80 and 100, the middle between 80 and 100 is 90. So that's very easy to find. That's why we like to use values of 10 to do this. Another way to find it is the middle of each class. You would just do 80 at the lower bound plus the upper bound 100. So 80 plus 100 is 180. And we're going to divide that by 2 because we're cutting it in half. That's also 90. So the midpoint here is 90. The midpoint of the next class would be 110. The next one would be 130. And again, because all of these classes are increasing by 20 from class to class, what you can do is add 20 to each one of these as well. So 130 plus 20 would be 150. 150 plus 20 would be 170. 170 plus 20 would be 190. 210. And there go all your midpoints. Remember, to find the percentages, we take each frequency, which is this, and divide it by the total, which is 50. And I want to drag this down, copy that formula. So I want to drag that down and copy that formula. So I do it again. It messed up. 4 divided by 50. Drag this down to copy the formula. And we're copying the formula there. Let's actually copy it all the way through to the bottom cells of the total. And it adds up to 1. So when we total all of those, we can also format these cells to show us percentages. So if I click this button right here where it says general, click, and I want to see them as percentages. It'll change those percents for me because that's what we're looking at. So it's 8%, 14%, 18%, 26%, 18%, 10%, and 6%. And it adds up to 100%. To find the cumulative frequency, remember we take each value like this. So I'm going to start here, take that value in the first class. And now what do I do to find the next one? I take what I got here in this cell. So in this cell above it, and I add it to this cell right here. I take what I get in this cell right here, and I add it to this right here. And if you do that enough, Excel knows what you're doing now, so it'll copy that formula down. And there goes your cumulative frequencies. And to get the cumulative percents, we can take what's in this cell right here, and then we can go this cell plus this cell. We can go to this cell plus this cell for the next one. And again, copy it down from here. And that goes your cumulative percentages. And so here is your actual table or your frequency table that we can make. And we're going to make graphs with these. In particular, we're going to make a histogram with this. And we're also going to make the OJOD, which is a cumulative percentage plot. And we're also going to make a frequency polygon that traces out the histogram. But for right now, this is what we call the frequency table.